As we enter what we believe to be the end part of the legislative session, there are two bills on the governor's desk that could pump the brakes on bike-centered infrastructure.
The bills would restrict how highway districts plan for pedestrians and cyclists.
Jude Binkley has been following these two pieces of legislation really since they were introduced earlier in the session. Joins us live here on the news at 4. All right, Jude, what are these two pieces of legislation? What do they do?
Well, Joe, Senate Bills 1140 and 1144 are separate bills that both address highway projects. Bill sponsors say they aim to cut down congestion, but critics say these bills prioritize cars over people. Spinning spokes represent more than recreation. It's a movement.
In Boise proper, we are seeing a surge in bicycling. Boise's grown in the last 5 years as a livable city for a lot of reasons, and part of that is a bike infrastructure that's safe.
A pair of bills now sitting on the governor's desk would reshape what local highway districts can and can't focus on. Senate Bill 1140 would rewrite Idaho code so that highway projects using state money could only be for the primary benefit of cars. Senate Bill 1144 would only allow bike and pedestrian improvements to be a secondary purpose of a highway district's project, and the law would ban projects that narrow a roadway. Groups like the Boise Bicycle Project say the bills push pedestrians and cyclists to the shoulder.
If you think about how much Boise or Idaho in general has grown in the last 5 years, there's going to be a circumstance where we have to retrofit a road for a crosswalk if there's a new elementary school, if there's a new apartment complex, for kids going to school. And unless, with this language of this bill, unless we're doing it for a car first, we will be unable to do that. So extrapolate that into what that means for the safety of all road users.
Using our roadways is critically important for how we get around, how goods get around. And these two bills would effectively restrict the ability of local highway planners and road designers to manage the roads for pedestrians, bicyclists, and others who might not be in a vehicle.
The bill's sponsors say the two bills aim to ease congestion on the state's roadways and ensure fiscal responsibility to make sure money for roads goes toward road projects. But Jonathan Oppenheimer, Government Relations Director for the Idaho Conservation League, says definitions laid out in the bills are vague.
It says that this bill wouldn't have any effect near schools or parks or pedestrian areas or bicycling areas, but it doesn't define what those are or what near means. And so is it within 5 miles, 10 feet, or 100 miles? It's unclear.
We see hundreds of people on cycles. We see hundreds of students walking to BSU and back and forth. We see the Lime scooters and the e-bikes and all those different modalities working together because we have built facilities to accomplish that. And if we go backwards, if we make it so we're not able to do that, we're going to see less safety in every single one of those modalities. So less safety in cars, less safety walking on a sidewalk, less safety on bikes. And that's what's really at risk with these bills.
And both of these bills were delivered to Governor Little's desk yesterday. Joe Brenda, he does have 5 days to sign or veto it, so we could expect a decision by Saturday.
It'll be interesting to see what the governor does here. I know this is a major conversation across Idaho. Jude, we'll talk to you soon. Thanks for the report.